say hi?
How's it going? What are we working on?
Robot soccer.
Robot soccer? Okay. Did you build the robot?
Yeah. Our team.
Your team did? Okay.
How many teams y'all got here? 4 teams. All right.
You got the girls team, the boys team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where do you guys go to school?
I go to you.
Deal, Brookland,
And I go to the hospital.
Stewart Hobson. Stewart Hobson, what about you? DC Prep. Okay, all 4 boards. All right, good stuff.
Y'all did all the coding yourselves?
Yes.
So the chancellor already asked you about coding. Who wants to tell me about the coding process?
I'd have to say that I think that was really fun because you just got, it's like mostly trial and error. Because when we first started it, I was like, oh no, because it's a robot and you gotta program every single little thing it does.
So you connect something to the computer and then connect it to the robot?
You connect the cord to the robot, then you connect the computer, and then you have to connect the brain to the robot that's on the computer. And so then you can add onto it, and then you gotta download it onto the robot. And then you can unplug it and make it start the program.
So are you teaching it how to go left and right and how to pick up?
Yes.
Are those the codes you have to write? Okay. What other codes?
And then again, you can also put the codes onto your controller, so you don't have to use the computer to download it.
Okay.
Layla wants to help you try to get these cubes into the
Okay,
bin up here.
I'm down.
All right.
And later remind us what school you go to?
Stewart Hobson.
Wow.
Is it harder than it
Later,
looks?
you want to get right down?
It's very hard.
All right, Layla, you want to try?
All right, the mayor gives up.
There we go.
But I just got out of. Good. So this is your new school, huh? Fantastic. What about you? What do you?
I'm going to Hardy Middle School. It's till 7th grade.
Okay. This is a great lab you have here. Is this your lab?
Yes, for today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, any questions? Good morning. Good morning. A lot of people out playing. So grounds look beautiful. School looks beautiful. Think children are beautiful. What questions do you have? Yes.
Peace and blessings, Madam Mayor. So I'm asking this question in the context of conversations I've had with people in Maryland and Virginia. A lot of envy around the offerings that DC has for young people between CTE and between late night hype. A lot of opportunity for young people. Mm-hmm. My question for you is, what appears to be the disconnect between the plethora of offerings for young people and just the what we're seeing with young people in the streets and just their concerns about public safety? How is it that with everything that DC offers, young people still feel that they're not safe and that there's no opportunity here for them?
I don't think that that's what the majority of people feel, young people, old people, or people in the middle. Certainly, I would agree, and I appreciate the statement that we as a city have invested in so many opportunities just here at this beautiful school, looking this beautiful campus where we have kids who are engaged in robotics and a bridge program to middle school. It's just an amazing opportunity. Over 12,000 of our kids are in a summer youth opportunity where they're learning about careers, they're earning and learning. I don't know how many you have in summer enrichment at DC Public Schools, but it's another big chunk, and 8,000 kids are in very affordable summer camps as we speak. So there are a lot of activities for young people. We continue to want to have kids who are a little bit older, who aren't as interested in camp anymore, to make sure that there are activities for them. And that's why the summer youth engagement is so important, and so is the evening engagement. So we live in a world that's different, however, that kids are on social media, they're involved in social media chats and meetups, and not all the activity is positive. So I think as a society, not just as a government, but as a community, as family, as church, as all of the other important institutions, we need to continue to think of ways to engage young people and give them the positive attention and feedback that they think they're seeking or that they are seeking, and sometimes negative behavior.
No doubt. And my next question might be either for you or Chancellor Fairbill or even both. What's the long-term strategy here as it relates to workforce development? You know, so we have a pipeline coming in. Are you looking at the trends of what jobs are popping? You know, where's the alignment as far as preparing this crop of young people for present jobs or jobs that are coming up so that they can
Sure,
live in
I will turn to the Chancellor, but as you know, our Department of Employment Services, our Workforce Investment Council, our whole public education team in DC government that includes DCPS, the public charter schools, Parks and Rec, libraries, and the University of the District of Columbia is focused on jobs that we need to fill. We have a lot of jobs in the city that go unfilled by DC residents. And a good chunk of them are good paying, family sustaining jobs that we want to make sure our young people are prepared for. We have, some years ago now, started an infrastructure academy where people are trained and there's a job for them at the end. The CTE programs I'll ask the Chancellor to talk about, and our advanced technical centers, programs across the city. We're going to open a new one in Ward 8, I think this month, where we are training kids for available jobs. In addition to the early college programs at DCPS, we just met one of the instructors who's at Coolidge Health Sciences Academy, where children will graduate with skills and sometimes certificates. So that is the alignment. Now that's not it, however, because we have a lot of skilled workers in our city, and some of them are going to be looking for employment. And so focusing on how to keep our great talent in the district is another part of the work that we'll do in our workforce investment strategies.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam, for that question. You know, in addition to the agencies that the mayor mentioned that we partner with, we have our own advisory various industries that give us guidance around how we can best prepare our students for the opportunities ahead. We're especially focused on our high demand, high wage opportunities for students once they graduate in DCPS. But I think what you see today is the long game of exposure and providing students the opportunity to build the prerequisite skills to be successful in the industries that they're interested in. And so we take what we know about the workforce development needs and what's on the horizon in terms of needs, but also what's high interest to students. I think that's one of the reasons why we see a lot of students in the programs like you saw today with strong attendance and engagement. And then we want them to learn as much as they can over the summer in these enrichment programs, but also making the connections academically during the school year. And then, as you heard from the young people today, begin thinking about the career pathways they want to pursue in high school in our CTE programs. And then we build upon that with apprenticeship, internship opportunities during the summer and also now during the school year. And then we also help students begin to think about if they want to go directly into the workforce or higher ed opportunities, how do they do so and what credentials do they need to earn? And they can earn when they're in high school.
Got you. Any access to like longitudinal data as it relates to like from middle school on, and this is my last question, like college completion. So like once these young people go through middle school, high school, how many of them are completing college within 4 to 6 years, you know?
Well, I think the big data point I would point to, Sam, is that we know when our students are in career and technical education programs that their attendance better, their grades better, and ultimately there are students that are prepared for what's next when they graduate. Now, again, some students earn credentials, they want to go directly into the workforce, which is great. We support that. For those students that go on to higher ed, we see a lot of success as well, but we don't see everybody engage in the way that we would like. And so that's why we've been real thoughtful about what students are interested in, and also the career opportunities we have in the city and also in the region that we can connect students to. And so there's still more work to do, but we're really proud of these opportunities that we're creating for students over the summer, and then ultimately what happens in the school year as well.
Yes. Afternoon, Mayor. I have one on topic, actually, one off topic. I know there's also been some discussion about students excited with these programs, but also wanting a little bit more support when it comes to higher education for college. Do you know, has there been any discussion, more pipelines to provide them that support in when it comes to getting to college financially, since they don't get in-state here?
Well, we have a TAG program that's been long-standing, and we're hopeful to increase the TAG dollars. Our kids also in the early college programs can earn AA, which gets them halfway there while they're at DC Public Schools.
And then on my off topic, obviously the recent election that happened Tuesday, have you had a chance to reach out to the newest projected winner for Ward 8, and also just your thoughts on this? Obviously it's been a big topic in terms of whether it sets new precedents or whatnot with what's going on in the background with his outside case.
I don't know about precedent, but I haven't talked to the projected winner yet, but I will.
Good morning, Mayor Bowser. My question is for you. I have a question about, so your budget request included $27 million for OST grants, which is the same amount as last year, and I'm wondering if you could explain why ask for that amount versus asking for more money for those programs.
Are you familiar with our budget situation?
I am, but
Okay,
would love
that's
to hear
your
your
answer.
answer. Okay. And then also I just wanted to follow up on the tag increase. Can you talk about what the tag increase will look like? That's as news to me, so I'm curious how much more you want to ask for, and like how
we
that
will try to
situation's
get
gonna
it
play
to
out.
15, and we are identifying a legislative path in the Congress to do that. I think there's generally interest, so I don't want to overstate it because the Congress is circuitous sometimes and uncertain, but I think people recognize the need. And not only the benefit for DC kids, but the benefit of the receiving universities, where our kids are going to schools all over the United States and contributing in a lot of ways.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Mayor. There was some reporting yesterday about Virginia and Maryland, I guess, reaching out to the commanders about possibly building that new stadium there, other places. Have you heard anything like that from the commanders? Have you heard anything?
That's a question for them.
Okay, and I mean, is that a realistic risk as the vote is delayed, or do you think the federal government would perhaps step in before that, something like that?
Well, we are now, I guess, officially out of an exclusivity period, so all the associated risks are there. Yes.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm with the outlet Technically. I was wondering what the concrete ways you're working with Maryland and Virginia in terms of workforce development programming. Are you working with like local higher education institutions, that sort of thing?
Sure. So we are a member of a number of business groups that are very focused on workforce development, where, as the Chancellor mentioned, we're talking directly to employers about what they need from us. We're working with our economic development authorities throughout the region and recruiting workers and having them let us know. Our universities and we participate usually as a consortium on focusing on that. Now, we will have, as I alluded to, some new initiatives related to workforce and federal employees and very highly skilled workers, and how we as a region can work to keep our workers here in the National Capital Region. Yes, last question.
I wanted to follow up from my press corps colleague here about RFK. You said associated risk. Can you delve deeper into that?
Well, all of when you are not negotiating exclusively, then I mean, I think I don't know that I have to say more.
Are the associated risks? So, like at this
The
point,
associated risk is that the deal doesn't happen,
so what are you willing to do?
doesn't complete.
No doubt. What are you willing to do to further encourage the commanders
It's
to
not
come
the
back?
commanders. The council is, the ball is in the council's court to approve the agreement.
Right, it is. But given, if the commanders get anxious, what are
The
you?
commanders are anxious.
So to that point, what discussion, if any, is there around encouraging them to hold tight while the council gets things underway?
The council has to make moves. That's what has to happen. Okay, thank you.